need to stop talking like this because I don't want to. I don't want my child to speak like Ross.
Live with life.
Oh.
Hello and welcome back to season 2 of Lives, Thrives and Mental Health Dives. We are back. And you're becoming part of the furniture at this point, are you?
I absolutely love it.
You're my co-host at this point. But no, I thought we would come back because we are here to spill some tea, number one. And we are also here to talk more about some important lessons that we've learned because we seem to have got a huge response to our lessons of our 20s.
Always about lessons of our 20s, but now our 30s.
But now this is a lesson of our 30s, yes. So today's episode is going to be all about navigating breakups. And I feel like we should just get it out the way.
Okay.
And say, yes, me and my girlfriend have broken up. I have had a lot of messages on social media because obviously I'm a bit of a classic Cancerian and I retreat into my shell when I'm feeling a bit sad. Yeah. So I haven't been posting on socials as much. And to be fair, bless people, they've been reaching out like, hi, you're really quiet. Are you okay?
Do people really do that?
Oh my God, like I've had 100 messages. People like, I'm worried about you. You've not been posting. And I'm like, thanks, Janine from Scarborough.
I don't because I hear from you every day. You okay?
So yes, we've got that out of the way. So me and my now ex-girlfriend are no longer together. And as I went through this very, very recently, I thought it might be a good time to kind of talk about it because we obviously joked, didn't we, during the lessons of our 20s about trials and tribulations of the past, but it's obviously easy to put like a ha spin on it when you aren't going through it.
Yes, of course. I can't now remember what we have spoken about, so I'm probably going to repeat, but yeah.
You're going to repeat anyway because you've got baby brain.
I do.
Why do you have baby brain? Because what's happened since the last time we filmed?
There is no bump.
There is no bump. Liv has become a mum to the gorgeous Penelope.
Oh, yeah.
She is the light of our lives.
And I am just a milking cow.
Yes, you are.
Really?
You are just a giant boob.
We're on minutes because
you need to go and feed that baby's mouth. Yes, right, okay. So I thought that we would come back because we are like the big sis energy that people have been looking for. And we have both been through breakups. You in your last year of your 20s.
Yeah.
Me in the last year of my 20s and now at 31.
Yes.
So well, I actually just wanted to give reassurance to girls that might be going through it, even people that are a bit older than us, that like life has a funny way of just like, it can turn around really, really quickly. Like just you as an example, you came out of a very long-term relationship, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you went through the fucking mill, didn't you?
Yeah. Every breakup is like so different, and I just genuinely feel like you obviously learn something from the last one, but when you're in it, it's really, really hard to remember what you've learned.
See, I remember yours, but then I remember everything because I live in the past.
You remember everything. I don't. I forget, and it's like maybe an inbuilt sort of
coping mechanism,
but I'm like, that's gone now. So I'm like,
not
I
stressing
remember
about
it for a little bit, and then I'm like, I kind of butt it off the hill. We've said this before, like I can just sweep it out of my way sort of thing, and it's gone. And
I
remember the good things.
I have to sit with it and go to like the depths of my mind until I am full peace with everything about the situation. So yeah, we do different. Yeah. Maybe that's going to be an interesting perspective for people because I'm sure there's people out there that are like, oh yeah, I'm just like that. I just get rid of it.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be people like me that are like, when will I smile again?
Honestly, sometimes I'm like, Tessa, out of the crab hole now. Out of the crab hole.
But that's why we balance each other out. That is why we are fire and water.
We are, like yin and yang.
Yes, we are. Yeah. So, just speaking about my recent experience. So, yes, I have been sad, obviously. It's very sad when any relationship ends because, I mean, as cliche and poetic as it sounds, they become your best friend. You spend loads of time with them. You've got
any breakup is hard though.
Even I thought you were going to get furious then and go, I'm your best friend.
I'm your best friend. That's you to me.
Yeah, it is. I do get jealous.
Who is that posting about you?
Who's that whore on your social media? You, it's my cousin. Me. Okay, well, you better tell her fucking back it up.
It's my little cousin. She's 10. Anyway, no, my point was it's hard breaking up with anybody, whether it's a friendship or like a long time, because they be,
Oh my God, yeah.
because they're your friend, because they're your best friend, because they're your mum, because they're your whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't mean that you break
It's
up
like
with
the
your mum.
void of somebody, isn't it?
The
Someone
void.
described it to me recently as grieving someone that's still alive.
Yeah.
And that is actually how it feels, because like you can't talk to them anymore. They're not in your life anymore, but they're still walking around.
I think that's harder sometimes, because I think, not that I'm speaking about, I don't know,
Death is easy.
Death
Yes,
if it's easy,
fine. We
but
didn't think
they're
that.
gone, so therefore
Yeah.
you can grieve. Whereas like a person, it's hard because they are still there. And it's like, do you reach out? Do you not? Do you need to move on? Do you not? It's
Yeah.
sort of one of those.
Well, what I will say about this most recent breakup is actually I've been very lucky. Maybe this is, again, though, my age and experience talking, though, because I have, like we said, in the Lessons of the 20s, done very erratic things in the past. And fortunately for me, with, we can name her, she
who shall not be named.
She who shall not be named. No, I'm joking. She and I didn't have any kind of toxic relationship ever. So when it came to us kind of parting ways, that was also just a reflection of us. Like, and we are still, I wouldn't go as far as saying like best friends, because that would not be normal, but we have mutual respect for one another. We still like say the odd hello, check in, are you okay?
I think this is, even though like you are 31, I would say this has been your most mature breakup.
Yeah, but I also think that I'm not going to take all the credit. Has also been great. Don't get me wrong, we butted heads a little bit at first, but that's normal because you're kind of figuring out, and everyone handles things differently. Yeah. Everyone handles things differently. Just as an example, like, I'm very sentimental, and I'm always take the view of like, I'm not going to wipe my social media clean of somebody because I've shared my life.
This is a point that I am like, oh my gosh, never wipe. Well, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
Don't wipe your social media of a certain person unless they've done something horrendous and they've been arrested and put in prison for something really bad.
Yeah.
That was your life.
I think that as well.
So you've displayed your life the way that it was in chronological order or whatever. Yeah. And then what? Wipe it clean like they never existed.
Well, fair enough. Maybe you would maybe like what would it be called? Like
archive
some of the, if there was a picture of you two necking on your feed,
yeah,
and you put like, I will never love another person than this person.
I agree with archiving some things maybe, but wiping it clear, I just think like no, because then you're not showing your life, you're just wiping it, you're pretending that your life didn't exist. And then also for the next person it's like, well, they've not had a relationship. But I don't know.
In terms of like recent happenings, so I obviously had to remind myself, and like we just said, when you're in a breakup, you're not in your right mind, are you? Like everything's very like, oh, doom and gloom. And everybody handles things differently. Now, you actually made a really good point to me, because I think that I think that perhaps like with my most recent ex, she just wanted it all to kind of go away.
Okay.
And that was her way of dealing with it, which now I'm a bit more rationalised. I'm like, yeah, and she has every right to do that. But at the time I was like, she's deleted me from her world. And you went to me, right, okay, yeah, no, I understand that would like really, really hurt. That would hurt me as well. And then you went, let me ask you this. When you two first started following each other, did she have any trace of ex-girlfriends then? And I was like, no, she didn't. And you were like, so clearly it's not against you, it's just her way.
I really didn't want you to be so sad either. And it's so irrational to be like, oh, rational? I don't know which way it is. Sorry, my brain.
She doesn't know. She's had a baby, guys.
I don't know.
She's got one brain cell.
I'm not even in reality. I'm not. I end up singing random tunes. Anyway, my point is it irrational or rational to be like, it's me, she hates me, she's deleted me?
Yeah, it's irrational.
It's irrational.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, but then look back, she's deleted off everything of everybody that ever existed. But then again, not against
this person specifically.
Not against this person specifically, but
it's just an observation.
I just don't agree with it. I just think like, just show your past. It happened once, you've moved on, and now it's time for the next. And
I totally agree. But so like I was we were touching on, I've been really, really fortunate with this breakup because it has been the most mature one.
Yeah.
And I think in those circumstances when no one's burnt 1,000 bridges, there can still be amicable care shown for one another.
I feel like there's always got to be maybe a bit of silence or a bit of a break.
That's something that I actually agree with, because when we first broke up, I will fully be transparent here, I was kind of like, no, we can still stay chatting. And she was very like, not a good idea. And that hurt me at the time.
Because you don't want them to be removed from your life.
No,
you don't want them to have like the the loss of, you don't want to have the loss of someone, so you try and hang on.
Yeah, I always have a fear that they're going to like forget about me.
Right, but I always feel like, not saying that you did this at all, because I don't think that this is the situation, but I always feel like the one who wants to talk still wants to be in the relationship. And I'm not saying that you did this, because I don't think that's right. But like, I think you have a fear of losing someone, like you've just said. But I do feel like if you want to still chat to them, it's like, it's because you think that there's hope of rekindling.
I would agree. And again, this goes back to like not being in your rational mind at all, because like I entered into the breakup conversation and I was actually like very mutually agreeing with a lot of the points, which was not based on a fallout. No one's done anything wrong. I just want to get that really, really clear as well. It was literally just a case of like our futures just didn't really align.
Yeah.
So for context, works a very, very stressful job. I won't say what it is just because it's not really my right to expose her life. Yeah. Not that she might not care, but either way, she works a very, very stressful job and she's very, very driven, especially for how young she is. And like, she obviously like wants to progress in her career, saw certain opportunities for herself that she wanted to take. We also did the long distance thing, which was fucking hell. And I actually would never do that again.
Sorry. Scarred. Ugh, no.
Anyone, if you can hear this and you live 3 hours away from me and you're in love with me, sorry.
Don't come through.
Don't slide in. So I would not do that again. But there were just a couple of things that were amiss, and that is absolutely fine. And I think that like now a few weeks have passed, and obviously we're talking about it, and this is therapy as well. You know, like talking to other people.
I think
about
the other thing that we've said is like, don't try and fit a round peg into a square hole. Is that the way?
Square peg into a round hole, but
square peg, round hole.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, that was quite quick for me.
I know that I'm coming to peace. With this situation, because when I actually think of her meeting somebody else now, that I actually want that. I want her to meet somebody really nice, because she's going to be an amazing partner for somebody else. I feel
like, you know, the breakup's right when you can imagine them being with somebody else and you're like, oh, no, that's good.
Yeah.
And that's when like, you know
I actually
it's
thought
right.
to myself the other week, I thought, I hope she finds someone really lovely, because she's lovely. She is. So, yeah.
There's been times in the past where you haven't wanted people to meet other people.
I'd rather them die than move on. Yeah. Which brings me to my second point. If you're feeling like that, that is normal too.
That's normal. Yeah.
But I also think that a lot of our feelings, and we have definitely touched on this when we've been in our 3 a.m. deep discussions, rejection turns people into monsters that they are not.
Yes.
Rejection is illness.
Rejection is something that I could not cope with in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s. Rejection was something that like, I actually didn't know I did it at the time, but looking back, I did. So if they rejected me,
it fuels your fire.
Are
you joking, Liv? I've been talking to some of my friends, again, will not name, recently, that are like, they've just got such a hold over me, this person, and I don't understand it. And I'm like, it's because they don't want you, or they leave you hanging on a string, and you don't know.
It's because you haven't come to a close with it yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course it fuels your fire. We've been through this so much, but for me, it was like I needed to have the closure myself. I.e., if they rejected me, I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
No. I would literally claw them back, but not.
The only person who ever clawed their way back in was you, because I'm scrappy.
That's right.
Yeah, you used to claw them back.
But not in my mind. I wasn't like, I'm going to claw them back and then dump them brutally. I wasn't like that.
I just wanted them back.
I just wanted them back.
You. Yeah.
But then when I got them back, I was like,
actually, this ain't shit.
Actually, this isn't shit. This is shit.
And then you dump them.
And I dump them.
And then they want you.
And then they'd want me.
Boom!
Rejection on their part, me. But I'm done now. Bye-bye.
So, girls and guys, if you want some advice on the Olivia, my new friend, Olivia Reeves' dump and claw method, it's foolproof and it works.
Get rejected, claw them back.
Dump them.
Yeah.
Sterling advice. Yeah. But this does remind me, just like, again, full transparency here about like my past experiences, because I know people love hearing about them, and I know they love when I'm like very, very honest about like my feelings and things that I've done. Like, so when I had the situation with Randy.
Randy.
We shall nickname him Randy.
Right.
Yeah.
I wondered who you were going to say then.
Yeah, well, who else?
I don't know.
It was not...
No, I mean... Good. No, there's so many. You have so many exes.
Excusez-moi.
This is a good thing you've had so much experience.
Yeah, well, at least I didn't stay in stale relationships for years.
Right.
Ew.
Yeah.
Burn. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I
Randy.
do have more exes than you, but Randy, yeah.
Yeah.
So Randy fucking floored me, didn't he?
Yeah.
And the reason for that was actually now reflecting rejection.
Yeah.
Because he love bombed.
Yeah, right. That was rejection, yes. But it was because of the intense love bombing that happened.
And then all of a sudden he pulled the rug.
Yeah, pulled the rug, yeah.
And I wanted to leap out of an upstairs window.
Oh, God, don't I know it.
Yeah. Well, this is the other thing where I actually don't know if this is linked to the fact that I have like ADHD or if it's just linked to the fact that I'm very deep.
Yeah.
You are an emotional girl, but I mean, I'm something else, aren't I? Like,
you're on another level.
Well, to me, the world is a movie.
Right,
like,
this is the thing. I am as emotional as you for a short period of time.
Yes.
I am deep and emotional, but then I'm like, enough. Bye-bye.
Whereas I'm like, I will wallow in my sadness until I physically feel sick about being sad for another day, and then I'll be like, and now we move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will hold my hands up to that. So if you're a girly like that, that's fine as well. Everything here is okay, guys. Everything here is a safe space.
I just think I know how to distract myself in the end.
You
and I
do.
replace it with something.
Yeah, see, I cannot distract. I find going through a breakup consuming.
Yeah.
And this is what I was going to say about, I don't know if it's my ADHD, I don't know if it's how I've been brought up, I don't know what it is. I literally cannot think of anything else, to the point where I do this kind of, I suppose it's a coping mechanism. Fortunately for me, I've never been somebody that has like a toxic relationship with like alcohol as like a coping mechanism.
No.
But when I'm really going through it, I will like take myself to bed at night at like 7:30 so I don't have to think about it. As in, like, I will get into bed and sometimes I'll even take, like, Nitol. And
That's your distraction.
Yeah, it is.
Going to bed.
Because have you never had, Liv, that feeling where, like, you wake up in the morning and I used to have, like, a couple of sweet seconds before I'd remember. And then my stomach would,
and then your stomach would turn. Oh, my gosh, yeah, mornings I always found were the worst in breakups. And then by the evening I was okay.
Sorry, we had this discussion, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because I went through the dreaded first lesbian breakup a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I was really, really floored by it, wasn't I? Like,
Yeah.
I was fucking fucked. Sorry, Mum, for double swearing. I was really, really, really sad. And I was, like, all right in the morning in this breakup. Like, I'd kind of wake up, like, with an optimism. Like, I'd be like, right, today's going to be all right. Like, I'm going to do this. And I'd be busy, busy, busy. And then as the day dwindled on, I'd be, like, going home to sit by myself.
Yeah, sorry. And at the same time, though, I think it was at the same time that I was going through I'm really, really sad and wake myself up with anxiety and sadness in the morning.
Yeah, you mean when you were 6 stone piss wet through?
Yeah, but I distracted myself with exercise. It was wrong.
I wish I could do that. But no. I distract myself with sleep.
Yeah, but I didn't even do it on purpose. I was like, what I'll do is I'll get up to
I will
distract
walk 20
myself.
miles.
I'll walk with walking club, then I will throw myself up Pendle, and then I won't tell them I'm going to do Pendle again later.
Yeah, I do remember
And I was just
this.
like, I don't know, I think it was just a huge distraction.
Yeah.
But it just became a thing. But
Toxic.
yeah, so yeah, sadness in the morning or sadness in an evening. Which
And then
favourite?
recently, when I've gone through this in the last month or so, I said to you, I was like, I've done the you, where I'd wake up in the morning, I'd have like a purge.
It wakes you up, wouldn't it? With
Well,
like,
I'd have like a purge. I'd just be like getting ready, and then I'd like brush my teeth and be like, and then I'd be like, no, I'm fine. And then I'd be driving to work, and I'd be like, me with Lewis Capaldi blasting out the
but
speakers.
then,
I miss knowing what you're thinking, me. That's something else that I do to torture myself. Does anybody else have this toxic trait? When you're sad and you make yourself sadder by putting on sad songs?
This is weird. I actually do that, but
I do.
I do. You said do. For a week, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done now. I just want like better now. But no,
This makes me sound like an absolute frack. I literally will be driving along and I'll think, God, I've not cried in a couple of days. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, scrolling, and then I'll click and it'll be like,
Adele.
There ain't no gold. And I'll be like, oh God.
No, sorry, I was just remembering something else that you said to me about breakups and irrational minds and stuff, and how like me and you can have like, I don't know, a 3-hour chat at night, and you're like, yeah, that's a really good point, Liv. Yeah, that's a really good point, Liv. And then like the next day, you're like, but blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, but remember what we said last night.
Oh my God. As in, like, my brain resets the next day back to the negative. Sorry, this is another thing, actually, that I wanted to talk about in terms of, like, mental health struggles. That we differ on.
Yeah.
And this we don't know, actually, because we have psychoanalyzed ourselves. This is linked to our breakup, but I have a very negative inner monologue and you have a positive inner monologue.
Yeah.
So Liv, when she's going through something, is very like, always look on the bright side. So she'll be like, yes, it's shit now, and yes, they've treated me like this, but I know I'm good. And she'll be like, and I know what I'm worth, and this, and this. Whereas, again, hold my hands up, I will literally be like, of course they've gone to somebody else because I'm awful.
But, sorry to sound kooky, because I know that everybody doesn't get on board with this, but again, I think it's to do with our star signs.
Do you?
My literal tagline about my birthday is look on the bright side.
Is it?
And yours is something quite wallowly. I don't know, I can't...
Mine's sit in a pool of your own tears, you fucking worthless piece of shit.
No, it's something about emotion, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we have psychoanalyzed it, and yeah, you're right, I do think very positively. Probably naively so, but I am
No,
like...
it's not naive.
You are great.
It's like fake it till you make it mentality, whereas I cannot fake it. I'm just like, oh. But then when I said it might be linked to my upbringing, so my dad is also a Cancer.
Yes.
And I have actually watched him when he's down. Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose. I'm just going to itch it.
Always, this is constant. You're making me
I think I've got an allergy to something, but I just don't know what. Sorry, so my dad is also a Cancer. Again, people that think that star signs are bullshit. Shut your mouth. And when my dad's down about something, he is very consumed by it. Now, obviously, he doesn't verbalise it maybe as well because he is a man of the 60s.
Yeah.
So
he's a male Cancer, so
yes,
it's so
he
different,
is.
yeah.
But I'll be like, you know, how are you feeling about this? And he's just like, everything's just shit and I can't see a way out of it. So I don't know if I've kind of looked at that
Maybe
growing
you've
up,
absorbed, yeah.
or if it's just, like, is it nature versus nurture? We don't know. What we do know, though, is that I've actually made progress. You even said to me, you were like, I'm really proud of you in this breakup.
I really am.
Because you were like, you
have
worked really
done
hard.
wallowing. But
I did wallowing for 2 weeks, though.
yeah,
and then
you were like, done.
So,
and I was like, whoa, this is so...
Who's that girl?
Who is that girl? Don't know.
Yeah.
We all handle it so different.
But I think the other thing, which I will thank Em for, so Em, if you're listening, I'm joking. She probably won't be, but whatever, is... We actually made an agreement when we did break up where I was like, please just don't bait me on social media, because we made the decision, because we weren't falling out about anything. I was just kind of like, if we keep each other on socials, like, please do not do that thing where you like going out in a week's time and you like
posting it all
kissing
over,
other people and posting whatever.
No one would do that.
We would not do that to one another, to be fair. And what I will say about that is we have stuck to that. So merci beaucoup.
I believe though that if someone genuinely truly cares about you, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Especially like a week or two later.
Yeah.
Like, they might be doing it.
Yeah, they might be doing it, and they're allowed to.
Yeah, but like posting it and stuff, I just think it's really childish.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I do.
But yeah.
Well, that's that.
And there we go. No,
and that's that point.
But another thing about social media is, and this maybe isn't to do with breakups, but maybe could cause a breakup, the liking of other people's pictures.
Yeah, you experience this a lot with... I nearly did it again. Guys, I nearly did it again and said her ex-boyfriend's name.
Don't do that.
So when you were going out with...
Bleep.
Bleep. When you were going out with Bleep, we would constantly, wouldn't we, see like random local girls' bikini pictures with his name underneath it. And he did not understand when you were like, people will think like there's trouble in our relationship.
It got sent so many times, as in like 10 different times. It'd be like, blah, blah, has like this pic. And it just gets sent around a screenshot and then the groups, he's liking this, he's liking that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily when we'd broken up, when we were together. But, it is what it is.
It's so trivial though, because like sometimes when you bring up issues like this, it can seem like, oh God, it's only social media. But social media is huge nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's like how everyone you know is seeing what's going on in your life. So when he, Bleep, used to be... Bleep. I don't know why I just said it
Randy and Bleep.
When Randy and Bleep were doing these fucking random things. No, as in like, I know what you're saying. And it's always like when they like a scantily clad picture as well. If they were liking a picture of like someone and their nan, that's fine.
And the family, or I don't know, just something nice and demure. But
we'd see a girl like straddling a sunbed and then Bleep underneath it, and we'd just be like, honestly, trash.
Yeah.
But then I was going to actually say about your experience. So you went through a breakup after a very long-term relationship. There wasn't I'm sure you're not going to mind me saying this, there wasn't an engagement ring in sight. There wasn't promises of that kind of commitment in sight. And that was hard for you because you were just kind of like, have I wasted my 20s?
At the time, I was so frustrated that I had wasted my time in like such a long-term relationship when there wasn't those things in sight or any promise of them like whatsoever in the end.
Yeah.
But I didn't. It was all a huge lesson for now.
Yeah.
As in, like, I would not accept that now. I mean, within a year I've had a baby. But, well, sorry, not within a year of our relationship.
Within a year you were pregnant.
Within a year I was pregnant.
And then you cooked the baby.
And then I cooked the baby for 9 months.
Now you have the baby.
Now she's 11 weeks old.
Oh my God. Yeah, but this is like maybe just a disclaimer to someone or people that are experiencing something similar to you, where like they found themselves single, maybe after like a 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, year relationship where it hasn't kind of worked out, and then look at you kind of like, and it happened so naturally, didn't it?
Yeah, it's not a waste. For those people, I would say it's not a waste, and don't try and hold on to it just because you think, oh, all that time, I've made all that effort, I've put in so much of myself, sort of thing. Don't hold on to it because of those things. If you look at the fundamentals and they're not right, and, it's 60% wrong and 40% right, I would say work your way out.
Yeah. Because... And the other thing is, I remember this at the time, actually, when that relationship had ended, I was like, so what are you going to do now? Are you just going to be by yourself for like a year? And you were like, no. You were like, obviously I'm going to take some time and I'm going to like grieve the relationship and like kind of figure it all out. And you were just like, but you actually said to me, you like being in a relationship. You were like, I've never been a girl to be kind of like knickers in the air.
No.
We've used that term before. So you've never been a knickers in the air. And you were like, I just don't find joy in that. You do prefer it when you've got somebody that you're either dating or you're committed to.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically. And I was like, fair enough. And then after like, I think it was like 4 months or whatever, you were like, I'm getting back out there. And I was like, fucking go, girl.
I actually didn't want to at first. I was like, oh, going on a date, that's a bit... oh, don't know how I feel about it. And then it was just sort of like, oh yeah, it's all happening now.
Well, actually, you were up for the date, but you weren't up for like where the date may lead. Like you were like, I want to go on a couple of dates just to like remind myself that I'm cute.
Yeah. Went on our date. There we are.
Went on our date
2 years later
with your baby daddy. And then this is inside gossip. Liv actually aired him for a week. And now that you're with him, he actually told us that he texted the boys group chat like, it's not looking good, boys. Not heard back.
I can't remember the exact terminology. I think it was like pied or something.
And people were like, oh, mate, good. And then we were driving somewhere. We passed his car.
We passed him driving in the truck.
Yeah, and then we waved, and then you were like, oh, I'll text him. And then I was like, okay. I obviously didn't know that Ross was crying himself asleep.
No, you invited him out. You were like, because I was saying all night about how, I've sort of messed it up. I haven't messaged him.
Yes.
I've like, I've screwed it up. Like,
and then we were out for some drinks and... drunk me, of course, wingman queen extraordinaire. I messaged him on Instagram.
You thought you were sober. And you were like,
oh no,
get down here now.
No, I didn't actually. I messaged him on Instagram saying, we're in Worley, in case anyone wanted to bump into us. And then...
Liv really wants to see you.
Yeah. And then lo and behold, a taxi screeched outside and there he was. Oh, and the rest is history.
He was keen.
He was keen.
Oh,
but you actually made the third move.
I did make the third move.
You made the first move, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
And this is something else that you... Actually, it shouldn't be gender specific. Anyone shouldn't be afraid to shoot your shot.
No, that's the first time I think I've probably made the... No, don't know. But I made the first move. I did.
Yes, you did.
And I asked him, I was like, were you ever gonna...
And he was like, eventually.
No, he wasn't. He was like, no, never. He was like, never. I think he was scared.
He was scared of your beauty and your brains. But
No.
Yeah, so Liv, I was actually there. Shock. We come as a duo. And we were out at a bar, weren't we? And you saw him and you were like, God, Ross Dent's looking fit.
We always said that though.
God, we're no better than men.
We are.
It's a meat market out there.
Wow.
And then Liv kind of like gently meandered over and I was just at the side of her. And then
I messaged him after, actually. I had to leave. And we'd spoken like a little bit. I had to leave and I messaged him being like, sorry, I had to leave, but shall me and you go out for a drink?
No, you were like, when are you taking me for a drink?
Yeah, when are you taking me for a drink? Yeah.
But yeah, she like slithered next to the bar and been like, are you okay? Batted her eyelashes.
This is before I pied him for a week.
Yeah, this is before she pied him for a week. Just for clarity there. But yeah, so the other thing that I kind of did want to talk about, seeing as the name of this podcast is Lives, Thrives and Mental Health dives, is just to touch on like the mental health thing and just to give you positive affirmations, if you will, if you're listening to this and you're going through a breakup or you've got a friend that's going through a breakup. Honestly, as fucking cliche as it sounds, and I also hate hearing this advice when I'm going through it, as you know, but it does get better, and it just does. I can't explain it. Coming from somebody that I've just told you, I literally wallow in my own tears for weeks, sometimes months.
It always gets better.
Yeah.
Like, eventually, it seems really hard at the time, but that brings me back to something we've mentioned in other podcasts about the don't chase situation.
Don't chase the situation.
Don't chase the situation.
Let it be.
And it will get better.
Well, actually, one thing that Randy did say to me months later after the breakup, when we kind of had cleared the air a little bit, and it actually has really stuck with me, this. So I remember saying to Randy, like, did you actually really care for me? And he was like, yeah, I did. And then I was like, and what went wrong? And he was just like, it was just all happening really, really quickly. And he was
Which he did himself.
Yeah, which he had contributed to himself, because I was putting no pressure, and I was like, right, okay. And he was like, so I kind of like retreated a bit, and then you clung. And he went to me word for word, and Tess, if you'd have just left it, I'd have probably come around to it.
And I agree with that statement, because I've had someone who's chased me.
Woof. Yeah, that's an understatement of the century.
I believe that if he'd have left it,
you'd have come to it on your own, that you wanted to be with him.
Come to it on my own. Like, there's complicated situations, as we've all gone through, but I just sometimes feel like when someone's chasing you, you feel cornered, and you feel like, oh my God.
And it's like your mum used to say to us as well when we were younger. Again, I hate saying this like with these wise old owls, but your mum used to say to us, like, never force someone's hand.
Yeah.
Because like if you imagine somebody like forcing you into doing anything, you don't want to do it.
No.
I remember feeling like this when my mum used to tell me to tidy my bedroom. I used to think, I'm going to tidy my bedroom today. And she'd go, if that room's not tidy, and I used to think, I'm fucking not doing it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like that. It's all psychology.
It is.
It's all about psychology.
It is, but I just honestly, whatever you're going through, keep fucking going. And number two, just let it lie, because it will all work out in the end. And the more self-preservation you have, and the more you can hold yourself with class and decorum, the more it comes back around. And if it is that you want to get them back, say it is, that is the most likely way that they are going to come back.
Be classy about it.
Be classy. Be the girl that they're like, actually, do you know what? She wasn't a fucking Fruit Loop.
I think the reason that you act so irrational, though, is because you're thinking, oh my God, they're going to get with somebody else. And if I don't talk to them, they're going to get with somebody else.
Yeah, but they might get with somebody else anyway.
They might get with someone else anyway. Just let them do it. And then...
Sorry, go on.
Be the girl that...
Be mysterious.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah. And it is hard, and it does take actually years of practice and lessons. So if you're listening to this and you're a 23-year-old, chances are you need to go through this lesson. You're not going to get it the first time. You're not. But it is so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I forgot what I was just going to say then. I was on a roll.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
I do.
That happens to me
All the
75
time.
times a day. Me, I've got upstairs for...
Yeah, but it's just, it's so hard, because like we just said, when you're in it, when you're fucking going through it, you can't be told.
No.
Like, I remember even saying to you, didn't I? I was like, Liv, you're not listening to me. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you were just like, but it's what I want.
Oh my God, right. If I reflect now, which I'd really try not to, on things that I have done and said when I've chased somebody, it makes me sick to my core.
Sorry, this is what I was going to say, because coming from our experience, when we have left it alone, that's when they've always come back.
Yeah. When I have chased and read back on messages that I have sent...
Liv, don't even.
I am like, Olivia Grace.
I used to be
What
like...
the hell? Ew.
I used to be like, if I just send them one more message to get my feelings
An essay
across,
this long that's...
I'd be like, it's not just this, it's this, this and this, and it's also this. And
Don't throw it away. No. Don't throw all of that away. And it's like,
Literally.
oh my God, no, if I could delete and erase those memories. They do flash up in my mind, not as much as they flash up in yours, because I know that you like to relive.
I live with nostalgia.
You live
nostalgia and me were like that.
Yeah, whereas I feel like I live in the present.
Yes.
Whereas, I know sometimes in the past, like, oh, that was nostalgic.
dwell.
But you're
You-
like,
sorry, you don't
that
dwell.
was really good and that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
But you're like, but
I
right
struggle
now
to-
it is shit.
I do struggle to
Yeah.
live them out. Sorry, I've remembered the point I was going to make.
Okay, great.
It was about the sex thing, like worrying that they're going to have sex with somebody else.
Okay.
And, I mean, it is a sickening feeling when you love somebody
Horrible.
and maybe you've been the only person that they've been having sex with for a year, 2 years, etc. It's fucking horrible to think about.
Horrible.
But we said this in a previous episode. again, through experience of breakups and then them getting with other people, etc., sex does not equal love.
I was going to say, sex is not love.
Absolutely not.
Sex is
Particularly
sex.
with men.
Yeah, oh God.
Men and women are a different kettle of fish.
Well,
but
sex and love are two completely different things. And I mean, like, men have more sex and women make it more loving.
it means something to women.
Yeah.
But that's our genetic makeup. Men are designed to spread their seed far and wide, and women are designed to be the mother, the nurturer, and the nester.
Yes, but we have decided in the last, I'd say 5 years, just because they're sleeping with somebody else does not mean that they love
No, and that
somebody.
doesn't mean that you should lower your standards or
Oh
disrespect
no,
yourself.
and you also shouldn't accept that either.
No, if you don't want to. However, we used to really beat ourselves up about that when we were younger, and then we kind of got to a point where we were like, this person that they've shagged once 3 weeks after me and now they're begging for me back, she was a hole for the dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, hell yeah, can I get an amen?
It just came out. It just came out.
Sometimes things just roll out off my tongue and then afterwards I think,
Right.
yeah, but there are some people out there that are just a hole for the dick. I've been that before, I'm sure.
A hole for the dick?
Yeah, but not because I wanted to be. Because I was like, yes.
Now you're a hole for a hole. I mean,
Get in the bin now.
that's just the way it is now.
Liv, get in the garbage can immediately. Ew. That is really interesting way of looking at it. And now you're a hole for a hole. Yeah, sure.
Well,
Sure.
well.
But yeah, so maybe we can wrap it up there.
You're okay now.
I'm okay now.
Good.
Yeah, and I'm on the up. And thank you so much to
Good.
everyone who has reached out. I actually...
Oh, that's good luck. A
It means
white
that someone's
feather.
watching over you.
It does.
Guys, I've just found a white feather on the camera. Guys, someone's watching over me. That is gorgeous. Yeah, and I actually went on a little incognito trip to Dubai.
Oh, yeah.
Which I didn't really post much about. Just
You
for,
haven't really told me about this yet, so later tell.
there's nothing really to tell. And this is actually something else that I would like recommend. I mean, if you can afford it. I mean, don't like lose your house going on trips. But I always know that school holidays for me, if I'm feeling bad with my mental health, because I'm a teacher, I like a bad time for me because I'm at home on my own. No one else is off work. I just sit and stare at my four walls and think about every bad decision I've ever made. So this is the other thing about breakups that I will say, and maybe this can be the final point, is try and be proactive. And I have been in places where, like, I haven't wanted to fucking get out of bed. But setting yourself little joys actually really helps the process.
When we all went down to Devon that year.
Yeah.
When you, me and the girls, well, to be fair, it was COVID, so we had to do a staycation. Do a staycation.
Yeah, but that
Which
was
Dubai.
really good for your
That
mental
was
health.
really, really good. Yeah.
And it is just like what, you know, the buzz phrase is, which is like, you know, being with your friends and doing these things is therapy. So my friend, Brooke, shout out, she's a teacher in Dubai. And I thought, Feb half term's coming up. I don't want to be sat at home on my own. So I just booked a flight and went out and saw her. And it actually really, really was great.
Oh.
I know. It was Gorgina.
Missed you that half term.
I know. Whenever me and Liv go on holiday, we actually really miss one another, even though we're always right there and we don't see each other.
Well, it's also
often.
because usually at half term or holidays, I see you
Every day.
every day.
Every day.
You, knock, knock, knock. It's me. Me. Okay.
Yeah. So go out there, girlies and boys, and get your therapy, and you're going to be okay. Coming from someone that always thinks she isn't and then actually is.
I feel like that was like a Mrs. Doubtfire ending. Like, you're going to be okay, dears. that was Jamaican.
Mrs. Doubtfire's from Jamaica now, but yeah,
going to
thank
be
you
okay.
so much for tuning in and welcome back, like I said, to season 2, and we will see you next time.